Yeah, okay. Cool. Can everyone hear me, please?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'm not going to wait for any other person. I'll just start. We're going to look at Angular. Yeah, just the basic of Angular, then the basic of TypeScript. Then during the week, I'll see how much of TypeScript we can catch up with, and Angular. Yeah. Since we already have a fairly good foundation in JavaScript, mastering TypeScript won't be that difficult. What I'll just do first is I'll start um, I'll start an Angular project, then we run through that project. We see how Angular is being set up. We see why we need to learn the basics of TypeScript within Angular and the rest. So I'll start from let me share my screen. Let me just present the entire window. Ooh. Mhm. Cool. I'll share. Can you see my screen? So this is Angular doc. Yeah, I mean, I like starting from the documentations. So prerequisite is
Yeah.
JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, which we've done. Then a knowledge of TypeScript is helpful, but not required. Yeah, that is why I'm going straight to Angular. Then we now start looking at a bit of TypeScript. Probably, if we can't cover anything TypeScript today, we're going to probably do that during the week or next week. We look at what TypeScript brings onto the table and how coding TypeScript is a whole lot easier than is it easy than JavaScript? Yeah, I think it makes your code more readable than JavaScript, yeah, and better. So we're going to need Node. I believe we all have Node on our system. Then we're going to install Angular. I'm not going to be installing Angular because I've already done that before, but I'm just going to start a new project. So you can check the version of the node you have, and you can check the version of node you have on your system by doing this. Yeah, so I have node running. I can do, yeah, so this is my npm. I think I can do this guy for node also. Yep, so this is the version of node that I have for my system. Sorry, can you see my screen, please?
Yeah, we're seeing your screen.
Okay, cool. So this is what I have. Um, I'll go back to this. So to start a new Angular project, all I need to do is ng new, then my app. I'll go through most of this. Once you install Angular CLI, you have access to the command, ng command to create new project and to do other stuff. I'll put us through all of those things as we move on. So let me just go to my workspace. I think I have. Do I have? Okay. Let me go to this guy. Hmm, okay. I'll just create another directory that I just call. NG101. So I'll navigate into NG101. Yeah. So inside my NG101, I don't know, how can I make this font bigger? Okay, cool. I want to make this guy bigger. Yeah, can you guys see my, is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm inside NG101. So I'm just reading the documentation straight up here. So I'm going back to my Angular. So to create a new project in Angular, I'll do ng new my app. So I'll do ng new. I'll just call it ng101. So by default, Angular Bootstrap, and he asked me questions. I'll explain all of this. Do you want to hard route? I'll say yes. He said, do I want to use CSS or do I want to use SAS? I like using SAS, but for those of us that have not used SAS before, you can still write your CSS inside anyway. So I'll choose SAS. Yeah, by default, it bootstrap the whole project for me. Yeah. So it's installing the packages. We're going to be, go through all of this now. So the new ng command prompts you information, that's what we've done. Now, this is how we run our application. Once it is done installing, we'll go inside that folder. Remember, I did ng101, then I run this command ng save, and it's going to bootstrap my app for me this way. Now, once you do this, yeah, we can now go to next step. Instead of probably there's a walkthrough tutorial. There is a walkthrough tutorial provided by Angular. So it's two-way. I won't be doing this walkthrough. I will expect us to go and just use this walkthrough to learn the basics of Angular, how Angular works, and the rest. I won't be using this. I'll just probably create a simple project for us to use. So I don't know why. Why is this slow? It's still okay. Install successfully. Awesome. So if I go now, I can see my ng101, which is my project. I navigate inside my ng101. Then I do ng save open. I can do it without open. If I do ordinary ng save, it's gonna go. But I'll just follow exactly what they have here. ng open. Then I'm going to pull up the project so that you can see. So I did ng open. So it's asking me, do I want Google Analytics? I'll just say no. So it's going to compile my code and open it up. Yeah. Then I'll put us through the app structure. Now this happens for the first time. The next time I try to do ng save, yeah, this won't happen again. You can say, so I have my project startup. So this is my project startup here. It's what Angular done is to bootstrap it with an HTML template. So these are stuff I can do with Angular. I can do the PWA with Angular. I can do server side. I can do server side rendering with Angular, and I can also do a single page app with Angular. But for the purpose of this, we won't be looking at progressive web app. Once we master the single page app, we now start looking at server side rendering. Then we start looking at the progressive web app bit of it. So this is what Angular has given to me right now as Bootstrap. We've started the project. So let me now start looking at what is the typical structure of my Angular project. Let me go to my code editor. Sorry, I'll go to my code editor. I'll just go and open up this project, workspace assignment, and this is it. I'll walk us through. Yeah, I'll walk us through the project structure. Let me see if I can increase. So let me walk us through the project structure. So once you come to the depth to your project directory, yeah, you have the E2E folder, you have your node folder, then you have your source folder. Please, can everyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can. I
Okay,
can.
okay. So you have your source folder. That I'll explain this one after the other, yeah. Then you have all the other files, your package.json, store up all your um, project dependencies, um, plugins that you are using. Everything is stored in your package.json. I'll be sending article to us that point us to the depth of what each of these files are doing. I'm going through the files first before the folder. You have your angular.json, which is the core to Angular architecture. From here, you can do a whole lot of configuration to the Angular project. For example, you have a deployment pipeline where you have different environment, different I can configure which environment. Uh, if you see, I have my environment here, so I can configure different files to different environments. If you see, I have my comma, I have my TS, JSON, TSB. I'll skip all of those. So I'll go to the E2E. The E2E folder is for end-to-end testing. We won't be covering this part in this course, yeah. Then we have the node underscore module. The node underscore module is the folder that you should never touch. Like you should never even do anything inside. You only stores all the project dependency. If I should open it, right, you're going to see a whole lot of stuff. It stores just the project dependency, all the plugins that you are installing, everything your project needs here to run and for Angular to be able to pass. That is what nodes underscore module store. Yeah. Then we have, I don't know if it's big enough here. We have this. Let me see. How can I even increase? Is it the view size, appearance, zoom, enter full screen? If I do full screen, yeah. Can you guys see the source file? That is the folder that is src. Can anyone see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you look at this folder here, this folder is where we are going to be doing most of our development. You can see my app store all my codes, all both the HTML, the JavaScript, the CSS, the text, the modules, I'm going to explain why I want to start us up with Angular before React. Yeah. Then that is my app. I have my index.html in my app. My index.html is the entry for the project. It's just more like, remember when we were doing HTML? You have your HTML, you have your header, then you have the body. You can see this body has app roots. If I remove this now, my app, nothing is going to show up on my page anymore. Then I have, if you go to, you can see, and I should have, yeah, I have this styles.css. Everybody remember when we were doing styles.css? This styles.css save global configuration. I'm not hearing anything. Okay. Sorry, can anyone hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Brian said it's not. Is not. Brian, can you check your system? Probably it's your network. So you can see my style here. My style here means global style. Global style means any style I write here is going to affect the whole of my application. Yeah. Then another stuff that Angular brings for us is for me to write style per component. We'll get to the depth of that later. Then in Angular, we have components. Components, these are the fundamental blocks to your Angular app. Um, inside my apps, inside my app, I believe we can see app.component.html. Yeah, can we all see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, if I open this now, let me open. You can see I have like 7 folders there. I have app.component.html. I have app.component.c. That is my CSS folder where I'm going to be saving my CSS. I have my test script. This we might not touch now since we are not going to be writing tests. I have components. In my component, that is where I'm going to be writing all my JavaScripts, all my TypeScript as the case might be. Then I have the module. Yeah, I'm going to explain all of this in more detail here as we move on. I have the app module, then I have the app routing. This routing help us to manage um, our anchors. The way you use anchors to route from one page to the other in your HTML file. But because this is a SPA, meaning a single page application, yeah, the routing strategy is kind of different from when we are doing our vanilla HTML and we are just doing anchor link from one page up to the other. And this is my HTML. This is my HTML. Yeah, remember this HTML is I'm going to just delete the whole of this HTML to show us something. Then we can now start building our own components bit by bit. The whole of this HTML is what is their name now? Angular is what Angular gave. Sorry, let me just close up this page. Yeah, the whole of that is this. That is what Angular gave to us. So if I choose to keep some part of Angular design, like the header, I can choose to keep it. If I don't want to, I'll just remove it. Remember, we did Bootstrap, so I can bring in Bootstrap here to help me manage all of this. So I want to delete all this Angular stuff. So I'll just come to my HTML, do this. I'll just delete. So let me do, sorry, I can't do this. It's going to, because my route is here, because I want to do route. So let me just leave that route there for now. I'm going to be deleting, I'm going to be deleting this in a bit. Yeah, it's from work. Oh, sorry, please. Yeah, so I'm going to just delete all of this. I'll leave only the route just to demonstrate something. Why is it not copying everything? See, I want you to see what happened to my page now. You can see my page is blank, yeah, because I've deleted everything. I've deleted everything that is on that particular page. So let me go and explain the components more. Uh, so let me do some. How do I increase? I want to increase the font size. So yes, yeah, yeah. I think this is better, right? So I can ignore this for now. You can see this is just my HTML, it's just my regular HTML. I can come here and type, you remember all the stuff that we do in HTML, H2. Yeah, this is working. Yeah, I'll refresh. You can see this is working is here. H2. What do we do again? I can do a P, yeah, and do this is a paragraph. How do you spell paragraph? Okay, you can say it's there. I don't have to refresh again. What Angular does, it comes with a live server that just help me refreshes my page anytime I save. So see, if I go to my HTML, my CSS now, yeah. So this is my CSS folder. Let me type P now. I can do P and do, I believe we all remember this background for all my P. I'm giving all my P a background of what color? Let me just do F2. Then I'm giving all my P a padding of, let me say, 20 pixel. Yeah. If I go now and see my P, see what happens to my P. Yeah. You can see that that takes effect. I'm not sure that shows very well. Let me do, let me just make it black. I'll make it black. Then I'll say is the color is white so that we can say. I'll save it. Boom. You can say. So everything still works the way it should work. And I believe I'm going to show us probably next week how to bring Bootstrap into your Angular. Yeah. Or how to use Angular has an ng Angular Bootstrap thing that you can use that doesn't bring in jQuery. I'll show how to use that. So this is how to just write my style. And you can see here, I don't have to remember previously when we were doing CSS and HTML, you need to do link and all of these things and do source and bring in your link or your type and bring it. You don't have to do that in Angular because Angular manages all of this for you out of the box. And I'll show us where it is being managed. If I come to my index.html, you can see I don't even have anything of such there. Yeah. But if I go to my angular.json, which is more like the configuration file for my Angular, yeah, I will see where Angular is making use of my CSS style. You can say, this is my CSS style. It builds my CSS styles from here, then it builds it. So Angular makes use of Webpack. I won't go to the details of those ones so that it doesn't get us confused. To pack all these things together into a single file. I'll demo it. I'll just do a bit so that we can see what I'm trying to explain. So this is my HTML folder. So every of my HTML stuff comes in here. Everything you can say of my HTML comes in here. All my CSS comes in here. You can still do your inline if you choose to do your inline. Remember, we've discouraged inline long time ago. But if you want to do your inline, you can still do your inline. So this still comes with everything that we know in our HTML previously. So you can see it's black inline. So I'll remove this. So let me explain the component. Now look at the way my component is looking. So we have first imports. Imports I'll go to depth of what import does. Just let's take it. Imports, we use imports to bring in other components or other modules that we want to use inside our modules. Then we have this component decorator, yeah? This component decorator, it's the one that we use to how do I explain these? I'm looking for the easiest way to explain. Okay, let me start. This component, this app component here, decorator, we use it to let me say wrap together what we need for or per component. Like this app is one component. I can create as many components as possible, and I'm going to demonstrate creating of components. If you remember, see this approach, yeah, if I go to my, because this is what we are using to bootstrap our project. If I go to my index.html, you can see this is my output here. If I comment this output out from here, we won't see anything here any longer. Yeah, because we use uproot to bootstrap everything. Everything comes back up. If I do my inspect element and I go to my, yeah, I come here, you can see, oh, I want to increase this guy. Cool. Yeah, you can see uproot here. Yeah. So that is the output that we've used to bootstrap, and you can see my stuff inside. This is working. This is a paragraph. So that is what output does. We use this guy as a selector to pick these components wherever we tend to use them. When we start creating several components, we are going to see the usefulness of all of this. Then my template URL is what Angular uses to map these components to a particular HTML file. Now I can create another HTML file. For example, let me even experiment something. If I come in here now, let me create an HTML file and call it Sam. Yeah, I call this guy Sam. I delete everything that is in here. Yeah, I go to my app components. Instead of doing app blah 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 blah, I'll just change this to Sam. Yeah, I'll save. You can see nothing breaks, yeah, but it's not making use of this guy. So I'll just say is this is Sam's page, yeah. Can you see? This is Sam's page. If I go back to my code and just remove it back to what it was before and go to view, you can see I'm back at what I have previously. So templates URL is what we use to map a component to an HTML template. We call HTML files here template. Then we have the CSS also. You can see my style URL is what we use to map that particular component to this style. So I can rename it. But by practice, yeah, best practice, we just put the name of the component in front and all of those things. Yep. I know we are going to have a lot of questions after this, but just stay with me. Then what do we have again? Yeah, so let me explain. We have app model. This app model, like it's core to a particular. You are using you use it to create modules. Yeah, modules can modules comprises or can consist of several components. So we use that module to group or to make our development, our project here more structured. Then we have app routing. This is where I'm going to declare all my routes. Yeah, as we move on. Uh, my check, am I too fast, please? And Lydia said I can't see your screen. Lydia, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, cool. Wait, am I too fast, people?
No, it's okay.
No, no,
I'm not.
no.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Just let me know if I'm too fast, okay? I can just break it down, break it down, break it down. But what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to do in this particular class here is just to put us through the basics here, then send us some tutorials that we can go through. Then I'll quickly just deep dive. I won't deep dive into TypeScript now. Probably I'll send something during the week. Then anybody that has issues with TypeScript can just boss me up. I'm just sorry I can be extremely busy sometimes, yeah. But just chase me as much as possible. I'll create I'll create the time. Yeah, so I should go on, right? So let's create navigation. So I can come to, let's start building something very minimal. I wish we'd be able to finish. Oh, say now because this is my route, yeah, and it's like my key model. This, yeah, manages the route within my application. If I delete this, I won't be able to do any routing. So I'll come here. Okay, let me say this here. This my app model, my app component is going to be like the parent component to every other component that's coming under it. That is why my route here. So every guy routes through um, this component. So let's quickly create some navigation. Then we create some navigations so we can just have like 2 pages. Yeah, let's just have like 2 pages. I'll do Adam. I know we all remember this guy in our HTML. Adam. I believe you also remember class. We used to have container in, yeah. Then I'll just do my error, then I'll try and explain some. So now, yeah, we are going to be using routing. That is default that comes in with, let me just do this guy and do logo. Then I can do 1 ng 1 Just let me know when I'm too fast. You have this guy also. You remember all of these, right? I have this might not work fine as we want it, but let me just say, I'll close this guy, then I'll write, do my A tag. Yeah, then I'll close my A tag. Don't forget that. Then I'll do home. I'm going to create a component for home. I'll come here and I'll do, we remember this guy in HTML. So I'll just keep this guy as this for now. Then I'll go back up. So we are using this to do, yeah. Let me just duplicate this guy. Then I'll call this guy list. Then I'll create another guy that I'm going to call list. Yeah. I think that sorts my error. Now remember, because we said this is going to be this is going to be every child component that we are routing through this app component. So I'll create, say, like a div so that I can give everybody the same. Let me make this guy class, then I'll make this guy container. Yeah, I believe this spelling is right. I'll copy this guy, I'll paste it here. So let me see all the rubbish that I've done. Okay, yeah, so just see, ignore this guy. So I'll go to my, remember I put a logo here. So I'll go to my app.css down. Now we use the route outlet. This is where route components are displayed within the template. Yeah, this guy, I think I've said that for this, where's my HTML? Yeah, this route outlet, it is where every other components are being displayed within the template. I'll show us in the view once we click make a link. Why our route link? It is how we link together pages of our app. Yeah, here we don't use, please don't use href. You can see my href, I put this, and I still believe this might show some error for me. So I'm supposed to bring in Bootstrap, yeah. That is why my component and all of those things is missing. But let's quickly do something. I'll just Google adding Bootstrap to my Angular projects. I don't want to do it often. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
What is the difference between href and router link?
Yeah,
Not
so
understood it.
yeah, so now yeah, router link is what Angular used to say. Let me do something. If I click here, yeah, I can go to say so command to pass. Let me increase it. Route. This is what Angular uses here to route because we are building a spa. Yeah, a spa is a single page application. Yeah. So when you say you have a single page application, it's like I have 10 pages. All the 10 pages are on the same HTML view. Yeah. You can't use your href. Your href means is linking one view to the other. But all I have here is just one singular view. You get that? So that is why for this guy now, you can't use Angular already have router link here that works out of the box for us. That is why in Angular when you are routing, instead of using href, you use router link to do that within Angular. I don't know if that answers your question. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just do, I want to import, I want to import, I want to import this guy. It's just a font. I want to do primary R, RGB. Yeah, this, just ignore these colors, yeah? Then I'll do my body. I believe we all remember this, margin 0, I'll do font width. I'm trying to use the fonts that I bring in from there. We don't need it, but let me just use it. But we can completely ignore that for now. And I want to do font size. I like using this dude. Let me just use this dude. It's going to be big area. So let me see what I've messed up. Okay. I want to write my container. Do we remember I can write my container like this because I've typed in there and I'll say the width for my container for every guy should be 80%. And I want to do margin. Remember, if I do margin 0 and auto, means it should align to the center. You can say It's now in the center. Sorry, I want to add this person. You can see it's now in the center, yeah? So I can come here and style my header. I can give my header a background. I did this stuff up there, primary. Yeah, this is another way. I know in JavaScript we declare variable. So in CSS now, yeah, there you see SAS you can declare variables. Yeah, I can declare reusable variables. So this primary, I'm just using this to just this primary is like me declaring reusable variable. So if I anywhere I use this primary within my app here, if I just change it here once, it's going to affect every place that I've declared it. So I'll do padding. I'm just taking us back to, I just want to make the page look a bit good. And so I just serve at more, you can see I have my padding. I can now style my header, my href. I can do color and do this guy. I can do text decoration. I don't know. Remember I have logo. I'll do this dot logo. I'll do font width just to give it some border. Let me see. Yep. So I want to do my navigation. Just want to start my navigation. So I can do, let me float my navigation to the right. So this should flow to the right. Yep. So let's start styling the navigation so it looks a bit pretty now. I want to style my eye. I'll do, let me ask who knows what this guy is going to do for me in CSS. You remember I have a list. Yeah, if I have list style type to be none, what does that mean in CSS? Who remember? Or who have come across that before?
Let me see. It will remove all
It will
the
remove, it will remove what?
styles on the link. Like it will remove all the styles on the UL, like the numbers in case it has like I failed to explain it, but I understand it very well. But it has
What is
failed.
it? Okay. I get what you are trying to say. So now what this guy does is remember in my linked list. Oh, I said linked list. Sorry, that was what I was doing all night. So in my on ordered list, yeah, I have it can either be ordered list have type. I can either do ordered list on order. This is on ordered list now. It can either have a dot, or I can have make it have alphabetically, or I can even make it can be a number. Yeah. So when I do this, okay, the best way is to demonstrate this. I'll comment this guy out. You can see that what I have here has dots. Can you guys see that it has dots? Yeah. You can see it
Yeah.
does have dots here. See what happened now. Yeah, I'm doing this guy. Let me pick another. Yeah, let me pick something else. Let me pick decimal. See what happened when I pick decimal. You can say I have 1, 2. Let me pick something else from decimal. Let me put this guy. I don't know what that guy is here. You can see what I have. So if I'm styling it as null, means I don't want it to show anything. Bam. It's not showing anything for me again. Can we see? So I go on and finish up my A card. Remember, this is some more advanced JavaScript and CSS here, but it's just to, I want to just go through these ones to prick up our mind here and motivate us to go and study these stuffs more. Yeah, so I can do, yeah, it comes with backing, yeah. Backing. Remember, I have primary. I've declared it somewhere. So I'm saying just backing this by 10%. Yep. I close this guy. Then I have my last guy, which is my H1. I just want to close this guy up. So I'll say my H1 should be margin top to, so now am I good? Yeah, nothing missing, nothing broken. Yeah, you can say you can see what happens here now. It's the same color here, but because I darken it a bit by 10%, that is why I'm having this guy. So nothing much now. I think I have my link and my HTML the way I want it. Yep. So let's do something. I can now come to this place. I'm going to stop my server from running there. I want to now create, I want to create a new component. So I have ng. See, let me give you guys heads up. Anytime you are using command lines, yeah, command lines have several options for you. I know there is always help option for you to be able to, if you need help in anything, I can do ng. Why is it not giving me what I want? Yeah, cool. So I can do ng help. It's going to give me help as how I should use the command line. You can see add means I want to add supporting libraries. I want to add Google Analytics or an analytic via this guy. I want to build. If I do deploy means I want to deploy. I want to do set Angular configuration values. I want to do document at each level. Yeah, I think I should have generate. And the what is in bracket are the shortcuts. So for me, instead of doing ng generate, sometimes it's just too long. I make mistakes. So you can just do ngg means generate. What does generate does? Because that's what we are going to be using now. Generate gives us the privilege to modify files based on our semantics here. So if I want to modify this guy now in my generate, I can also do help. Yeah, you can see I can get all the helps that I want from my generate. What do I want to do? In generate, I can, these are my options for generate here. Now, what can I generate? I can generate app shell, I can generate application, I can generate class, I can generate components, directive, enum, guard, interceptors, interface, library, pipe, services, service worker when we get to PWA, So I'm just going to stop there. So we are generating components for today because we want to add a new. Then, yeah, if I do components, yeah, funny enough, my component shortcut is C. I can do help also for my components. I can see everything I can do as regard the component. You can see it's an argument that this particular, see when I did my, sorry. When I did help against this guy, against my generate here, it tells me semantics here. Those are the arguments you can take, and it tells me all the options and tell me the available semantics, which is this. So those are the arguments you can take. So I've done one of the arguments now, which is component. So I want to do, what can I do with my component? And the only argument my component takes right now is just the name of my component. So once you create two components, I'll call one home. Just see what happens here. I'll create home. It's going to bootstrap home for me. You can see, if I go to my code here, you can see automatically inside my app now, I now have another folder that is Angular is generated for me with home. So home have its own HTML, its own CSS, its own components. You can see it's mapping to home. Nothing is inside yet. I'm going to be explaining this as we move on. I've explained the component structure. Yeah. Are you guys with me? I'm on my own.
So I'm hearing you, sir.
Wait. You are hearing me. You are understanding.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you.
You are understanding what I'm saying.
I understand this particular area you are, but the beginning, I don't speak the backlash. I understand this particular area you are discussing, sir.
Okay, cool. Who else is with me? Who else is with me? You understand? Who else? Okay, who else is with me?
I'm with you,
Yeah, in spirit and in soul.
sir. I understand this particular part.
You said? Is it making any sense? Peace. Is it making any sense to you? We are going now into front-end engineering.
Yeah, it's making sense.
Love it. Is it coming together?
Well, for this particular side, I understand it. Just that I actually missed the beginning, so I'm not trying to. I don't really understand the connection.
Okay, you catch up. Kaite, is it coming together for you? Mic check. Okay. Love, how's it going?
I'm still trying to make sense from it, sir, but I will definitely catch up. I will have to watch the videos all over again.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. So now we've wrapped this guy up. We want to just link the page. I just want to show us how to link a page today. Then we can do a bit of JavaScript. Yeah. So now I've have my page here. Let me now create another page here, another component. We call it component here. I'll call it lists. Yep. I'll call it lists. So if I come back here now, you can see it has created another folder and call this guy list. List have all the elements that I need, my HTML, my CSS, and my TypeScript, my JavaScript. So I'm now go to my route, just for us to be able to link stuff together. We're going to be doing a whole lot of imports here. Yep. So I'll come to my route array. Remember, this is an array. To create routes in Angular, you create them by creating paths. Yeah, I'm going to create paths. I'll do paths. Now, if I create a path that is blank, it means that is my index page, my default routing path. And I explained something to us about routing component. It picks it from top down. So what component do I want to use as my route? It's HTML. That is my own page. I'm using my home. You can see it's importing the on here. What is expecting? What are you expecting it to do? Yeah, so it's going to import this guy. Then I'll do my comma. I'll do this again. I'll do parts. Then I need to bring in, I want to call this guy lists. I'll do components. Then I'll bring in my list component. No, I'll bring in my list component. So what this guy does for me now is it's mapping this part of my browser to this component. This part of my browser to this component. Yeah. So we are done with that now. That is what we call let's see. Have I broken anything? I need to start the project. Who remember how to start my Angular project? How to run my Angular project? Anybody? Anybody remember how to start my Angular project? You said?
ng-serve.
You said? ng-serve. 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 I serve my Angular project. Yeah. For those that didn't come early, ng-serve. I want this class to end by 8:30. Sorry guys, I have been this comment for Okay, so I'm live already. So let me go back to my browser. Where is my guy? Okay, nothing missing. Am I sure? Yeah, you can see home works. You know why? Because I said anything that is here should come to home from here that I'm routing. See, if I do this slash, oh no, this, and I do slash list, see what happens? You can see list works. Can everybody see that? If I take it back and do this guy, it's home. Now let me explain what is happening here. Remember, I said we have this app components, yeah, that we put app, oh shit, that we put route outlet. Our route outlet here is the way in which we display, oh yeah, then I'll show you something now. I'll just go to, I'll go to the documentation here and just search this guy. I don't want to explain from my head. I'll just read it from here, then I'll explain. Then probably this will show us how to read documentation, because I know developers, that is one thing we don't like to do. We don't read documentations, then we use half of our time trying to figure out, yeah, where is out. In-app routing, I want, yeah, this is my guy. You can say named outlets can be targets of secondary routes. The route object for a secondary route has outlet property to identify the target outlets. So now in Angular here, when we have this guy, yeah, this is our primary component. Yeah, every other guy is routing through this app component. Yeah, from router link. So the best way to do this is if I come and do inspect element, just observe what happened in my inspect element. You can see that in my inspect element, I have my app route here that has this header, and the header has container, has all of those things. If you come down, you can now see that my route outlet is here. That particular route outlet is now housing my new route. So if I change this guy to lists, see what happened now. You can see that it's now changed from app home. Remember, app dash home is what I have in my own components. This guy. And app.list is what I have in my list component. So it's just passing them, that single page, just passing them through the route outlet guide. So we have our navigation working. So let's try it from here. From here, our navigation is working fine right now. So let's do some simple JavaScript. I'm going to send us the link to this tutorial. It's so we can probably reread it, go through my explanation to make it make sense. I know you just need to write a simple JavaScript guide on the home page. So let's go to home. There's my guide. So we come to home. Let's make this guy H1. Now we do welcome home. Yeah, I can now do my HTML. Remember to close it. Put a class. Call it play container. I might probably just stop here today. Yeah? When we see how this plays with our JavaScript. I know we've been asking how do we use JavaScript, then I'll explain something. How do you then I'll use this to explain one-way data binding in Angular. Angular has what they call one-way data binding. So makes it really, really easy for us to be able to display data from our components. Our component here means our JavaScript or TypeScript. So this is my event. Who remember event listeners in JavaScript? Where you have event listener. So this is an event listener now, which is click. So anytime I have this guy, you can see I have can play, they're all event listeners, yeah. Then I need to now put my events that I want to trigger for my component. So I want to trigger what I'm calling count click, yeah. It's always going to be a function, yeah. Then I'll come here. Then I'm going to explain this now. So let me explain this, yeah. You see this guy that you have two curly bracket is called interpolation here because I want to display a variable called click counter, yeah, that I'm going to put in my TypeScript. I'm going to declare it here as a property. I'll declare it here as a property, then I'll explain why I'm putting numbers here. Now, I'll now use this to explain some bits of TypeScript. Now, why these days here, most companies or most developers want to use TypeScript against JavaScript in probably enterprise or core production ready development is because TypeScript provides us with we just type. Yeah, it makes your code more readable. In JavaScript, yeah, I can do this guy. I can do click equals to 0, and I can still come here and do this dot. I'll explain all of this dot click equals to Sam. Yeah, and nothing is wrong. Yeah, this is just telling me this. If I run it here, everything is going to run fine. Like I won't have any error except for the fact that you can see this is Sam. Let me do something. Let me I need to bolding that guy so that we can see. I'll go to my home. So I can do bold. Remember all of this guy when we're doing HTML. You can see this is Sam. It's not even bold enough. Probably let me make it H5. I want it big. What? Oh, because it's inside the span. So let me just leave it as bold now. I believe we can all see it. We can all see this Sam, right? Now, see, you can see my code didn't break. I declared Sam here as an integer, yeah, and I'm here and I'm using a string. So these are the kind of probably what should I call it now? Error, mistake, bug, yeah, that TypeScript actually comes to solve for us as JavaScript developers. So if I do number, just see what happens. If I do number, it's still going to throw that error, yeah? Let me go to my code now. Yeah, you can see it's going to break. It's going to break and tell me that the type Sam is not assignable to type number because I've already put number here. So it's going to break. But if I change this guy to 1 now, everything just going to work smoothly. You can see it now deployed successfully. I can now, you see it has changed back to 1. So this is what TypeScript does for us. We go probably next week, we look at these fundamental things in TypeScript as we catch up with it. Now I have something missing. I created this. I need to come here now. I go to my component. My component is where I put on my JavaScript. I copy that function and I create it as a function. I need to come down. This is my, it wants me to put public there. Just ignore this, my IDE. I need to space this to okay, to have type of terminations. Sometimes the wrong direction. So it's just my ID that wants me. I'll be explaining this. So what this means is here, I'm declaring this method or this function to have a type of void. Void means don't return anything. If I make this guy string now, means I must have a return value here for those that have done function, and it must return a string. Yeah. If I'm not returning a string, it's going to blow. My code is going to blow at runtime. You can say it's going to underline and tell me there is an error. These are the fun parts of doing TypeScript, really. So what I now want to do is I want to do something here. Once you click on that link, I want to do this dot my counter, and I want to keep increasing it by 2. So let me remove this from here. I want to keep increasing it by 2. Now I want to have I want to style my home. Yeah, I want to style this separately. Yeah, so I come here now and do span. Remember this, anything I put inside my home.component.css is only going to be applicable to my own. Yeah, it won't show up in any other place in my application. Yeah, so those are this. I want to make this guy light gray. So let me just do F2, F2. Then I want to do padding. Now remember, I hope we still remember all of this. Oh, sorry, 1 minute, please. Hello? Yeah, morning. Oh, yeah. How are you doing today? Okay. Oh, no, when will you be back? I'm in a meeting now. Like what time? About 5 p.m. Okay, cool. So you're heading to the island, right? Obaniko. Okay, yeah. 5 p.m. is fine. All right, thanks. Yeah, sorry, people. Sorry, please. Okay, so I'll just my check. Can everyone still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do bottom. I just want to make this page looks a little big. Now, anytime I kept doing this guy in 2 places here, because I've written it, I can just come here. Remember this guy, I can do I can call it light gray, yeah? Wherever I choose to call it. Who remembers that here? I can undo this guy and call it, just copy this guy and bring it here. Then I can just copy this guy, put it here. Oh, sorry. Put this guy here. I think I should be fine. Yep. So I can do margin bottom. And then I can do inputs. And the padding one here. You can do margin bottom too. Let me see if I've not messed up anything. I've messed up a lot. So something is wrong with that declare. I felt I've messed up some. Yeah. I'm not supposed to be doing equal to. Supposed to do this guy. So I should, yeah. So I'm back and I'm fine. But this gray is not visible enough. So let me look for. Sorry, this IDE gives me privilege to be able to do. Let me do this guy. Yeah. So that is just the border. You can see this guy now have this guy. Wait. If I click this guy now, you can see. Can you see that the number is increasing? Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to now map everything we are doing. I know some of us have been wondering, how do we map JavaScript to what we are doing in HTML or to our web app. So I can do what I can do with that click is endless. So then let's just experiment something. I won't go. I don't want to even go to. I don't want to even go through this. Let me do click. I can come to my console log. I can let me log. Let me log this part so that we can see what is happening. Click. So if I refresh this page now, ignore the new control here. You can see anytime I click, it's telling me click, 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 click because I'm clicking. Then because I'm just adding to this guy. Yeah, so it's increasing what the value of this guy will be. I can change my style. For example, let me see. We oh, I have my spam here. I can come here. I can do, choose here. I can do class. I want to do class. Should I do this? Don't worry. Don't let me do this. We do this next week. Let's just stay at this basic. So I've done that now. That is just one-way binding. Where you just probably do interpolation of what you have. And I'm just binding what I have in my components, which is this guy. I'm binding it to what I have in my template, which is my HTML file. I don't know if we are all on the same page. Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to stop here today. Then I'll send us this particular tutorial, this article I'm using for this tutorial. So we can now pick it up from where I stopped and just complete it from the article if you don't have questions. We are stopping at one-way binding. We have two-way binding. You can create services to connect to services means I want to connect to backend API, display it in my components. Then next week we explain how all of these things work together. So we have HTTP clients that you can use to call. Yeah. I don't know if we have any question before I'll call it a day. I don't want to bang us too much. Just send this article. I'm sending the article to the group now so we can use it to. Do we have any questions, please?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
On that list that you had created on the navigation bar, I'm imagining if you had like 10 items there, would you create a component for each?
Yeah. So for each page has its components. So let me do something. Yep. If I stop this now, I'll create another component. You can say mg g component. I'll call it some page. Yeah. If I come here now, I can see some page.
That one would be a lot to Martin because
You can see some page right now. So if I want to create a link for some page, I come to, remember, I have my link here. I duplicate this. I call this some page.
but I would love to discuss with the owner of the land and
My nav for it is going to be some. Yeah. I go to my route. I come here. I duplicate this, I call it Sam. Don't forget to put your comma here. Which component do I want to link it to? I want to link it to Sam page component. I put the component name. Yeah, if I go now to,
Even if I came on the ground, still it is the same thing. I have to
if
start
I
to
come
out the
here,
start.
start back, my server back,
Yes, but
refresh
still
my
before
page.
they start out to the start, I got to my information to give you the
So if I refresh my page, you can see Sam page. If I come here, you say, hi, Sam page works. And all my pages are there. So every page here, and that is what Angular does. It brings structure. So that means, oh, we're working on this. We don't need this page again. Oh, why did you create this feature? We don't need this feature. We don't need some page. All you need to do is just delete it. Once you delete it, yeah, you go to everywhere you've added the sample. See, if I delete some page, for example, now my page, my code just breaks everywhere I've used it. So I know where to go and remove it. You get, see what happened now? Say, this is breaking already. Oh, we don't need some page anymore. Remove some page, please. Yeah. If I come to my route, it start breaking. I remove some page from it. You can see, if I go back to my route, that is my route here. You can see I don't need this guy again. I remove it. And I'm back to where I was before. So that is the essence. Oh, I need to, yeah. That is the essence of making sure every feature, every page here is a component. So you have to make every page a separate component. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question, please? Okay. I know it's still like magic, yeah? And I'm expecting, I won't send any other article apart from this. I'll send, you can always get this anyway from, I have, yeah, you have what they call cheat charts, yeah? But you can get this from the documentation. Then I'm going to look for a very simple, yeah, let me give you guys this also. In fact, this is the tutorial we're using right now. Just pick this, go through it. Then, if you have any issue, let's look at it together during the week. Okay? Oh, great. So, guys, see you during the week. Put, like I used to say, we need to first self motivate, create time for ourselves. That is the only way we can scale. We shouldn't make it Saturday, Saturday. Like some people go to church or mosque every Sunday and Friday and forget about God Monday to Saturday or Monday to Thursday. We need to make it an habit. I normally advise as much as possible, if it is just 1 hour per day, rate 1 hour a day. You don't have to even do anything. Just pick up your phone. Oh, you look at, oh, I'm supposed to do something by 5. Just pull up your YouTube and just watch a tutorial, even if you don't write any code. Yeah, you just keep sticking all of those things into your subconsciousness, and that is how they stick. Yeah. Okay, people. See you during the week. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank